Now, when it comes when you were born, you were never born with a name. No name attached to you when you were born onto or into a building, but to be living on land. You may have been born in a hospital that is a corporation that the federal government does control through licensing. Uh, but you were never born with a name. So if anybody ever asks you your name, what's your name? I don't have a name. Huh. Everybody has a name, is what they'll say. Even the cops. Everybody has a name. No, no. I wasn't born with a name. Now my parents or mom or and or dad created my name or the name that they call me by. Because you got to have a name to call your children, even something you create, an inanimate object. You got to create a name, a label to place upon it. Well, they didn't create the last name you have. That was just added to your given name. Your first name and your middle name, if you have a middle name, or just what they say is your first name. Really, it's just your name, your given name. So your parents, because they created you, they can place a name upon you to have something to call you by. Well, when it comes to the government and the state, you can't claim to be a resident. You can't claim to be a U.S. citizen. The state didn't create you. The government didn't create you. So they can't automatically give you some sort of label or name to be given to you. You have to accept it. Ignorantly, voluntarily, whatever. That But they can't place or give you a given name. So when they sit there, well, then what's your given name? I don't have a given name. The state didn't give me a name. Because that's what they go by. That all caps name on your ID or driver's license. A state created name. It's not your name. It's created to identify the record. You can look it up. So you have to have a name. There's no law that states you have to have a name to give them. But they try to say it's law, you have to have an ID. Really, it's not. It's fairy tale. It's made up. It's not illegal to not have a name to give someone and or authority. You have the right to be anonymous, undocumented, not placed into their documents. You haven't done anything. You haven't committed a real crime. You have the right to be anonymous and in the private. When you carry around their state created and or U.S. created identifications, state you're a resident of a state, you're a U.S. citizen, and you agree to it, then that's what you are. You agreed to it. You accepted it. I don't accept any of it anymore. That's not me. I'm not the record. My name was not given to me by my parents in the form of all capital letters. The capital first letter and the rest lowercase. No matter first name or middle name, because you have a first name with a middle name. But then the middle name's actually your last name. It's your given last name. And so they can't touch it without your consent to say, yes, I want my middle name that you call a middle name with your what's said to be your parents' last name that was just attached to your given name. But really it's actually your last name that was created and given to you. And they have to have a warrant to get your given name that your parents gave you. God already gave you a name. You just weren't born with it. God didn't say, here's the name I created for this soul that resides or, resides in this body. God knows the name of your soul. Your parents creates a name for them to call you by. So they can holler at you with your name. So you don't have a name, which is the all caps name, where they incorporated the last name, what they say is the last name that your parents have, your parents had, all the way up to the point where they created the ability to incorporate people's last names with a birth certificate, a breeding certificate. It's not just a birth certificate. You can look it up. Legal definition of breeder certificate. Same exact thing as a birth certificate. Your parents are considered breeders. Animals, male, female, animals. They're men and women of law enforcement. We're male and female, animals, monsters, aliens. It's not considered man or woman. We're not one of them. So we're considered subjects, suspects, male, female, what they want to call us. Wake up. Learn this stuff. Legal definition of this word. Legal definition of that word. The words they use. You all take care. Bye.